Okay, so I am going to go ahead and introduce to you week 17. We are keeping the same. Well, you're in online class, so it doesn't matter. Our final exam will be the same day as all our assignments are due, which is on Thursday, April the 30th. And I will not be taking it late, so please make sure you do it by the end of the day, April the 30th. You should be able, so for the final, it's covering chapter 7 to 10. Let me click out of my email so that will stop happening. You should be able to read text on a variety of subjects, what people like to do in their free time, what some did yesterday, etc. And then you're gonna have to answer some questions based upon what you've read, which demonstrates that you understand. You should also be able to use weather and sports vocabulary to write a paragraph describing what you like to do. And I'm going to change that. That is not true. I had updated that. So let's actually go in to the final exam and I'll update that. We're not doing the weather. I think yours is the fable, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, let me go through the whole thing and then I'll go back and show you because I've actually given you an example for your fable. You are going to do, the whole test is mostly reading comprehension. So you're going to read a paragraph and then you're going to answer some questions. You're going to decide whether the statements below are true, false based upon what you've read. And I'm going to go back through and put A's and B's, like an A in front of cierto, a B in front of falso. So all you'll have to do is put an A or a B in the blank. And I'm going to do that for all of them. I think it'll make the grading a little easier and it will make it easier so that you won't potentially misspell. There are people who misspell falso and cierto or put true and false and so it's just going to make it easier by putting A's and B's. So you have a bunch where you're reading the statements and deciding whether they are true or false based upon what you've read. Trying to see if there's any that are different. All true, false. Here, this one's a little bit different. So read Javi's description of summer vacations he spent with his family when he was younger. As he describes them, he recalls a specific memory from one of their trips. Complete each sentence below with the correct answer based on the information you read. So when you read through this, there's going to be a statement below and there's possible, there's 3 options you have to finish this statement and you pick the one that matches what you saw in the reading selection, and you will want to just write A, B, or C in the blank. Here, same thing, true, false. This one's a little different. So Mariela is living alone for the first time and needs some advice. Read over each situation carefully, then choose the most logical command. So read what's going on with Mariela and then either write A or B, give her advice based upon the situation. Then we have lógico y lógico, and again, I'll put an A in front of lógico and a B in front of ilógico, so you can write A for lógico, B for illogical. So you'll read the following scenarios and decide if the conclusion that each person makes is logical or illogical. And this is another one that people misspell a lot, so I'm definitely going to go through and add the A's and B's. Then we have a video section. So if you've had my class before, this is the same. You're going to watch a video. This is the better link. This takes you into my language labs, but in years past, I had some students have problems and I had to stick it in YouTube. It is not as clear. Like there are the captions, there's captions in both, but if you can't get it to open, you'll have to watch it in YouTube. Just if you can, this is the better video. So you'll open up this video and you can click on the Spanish captions and it'll play in Spanish and then but you'll see the captions in English and then you just answer the questions based upon what you saw in the video. This is the same video again, so you don't have to it's not like, oh, it's a new video I have to watch. It's just more questions with the same video. So you'll just, there's statements made and a piece missing from the statement. So you pick A, B, and I'm going to make it so it's A, B, C. You just write A, B, or C in the blank based upon what you saw in the video that would complete that sentence. And then here's your fable. So you're not doing the weather, you're just writing the one fable. So remember, if you go back out to the site, we are doing a workshop on it. So the workshop is, I think, in week 15 at the moment. So you'll be writing it and then it'll get moved down to week 16 where you're going to be critiquing it. And then when you see it right here is when you should do your final exam. Don't do it before then because remember, you get feedback from me and you should take that feedback to write the best essay that you possibly can. Remember, I've also given you an example. Here's an example of a fable, so don't use the one that I gave you. I'm obviously going to know if you use the one that I gave you, but it just gives you a sense. And so, like, just make sure when you're putting your fable into Spanish that you try to think of the best way to say it in Spanish. I mean, I feel like fables sometimes have some convoluted language. Like this one I took was the lion and the mouse. I remember this story, but I watched like one in English so that I could remember how to write it out. And the language is a little bit convoluted. So just make sure that you're thinking of the most clear way to put it into Spanish. Now that's everything that you have to do, and then we'll be done. So if you have any questions or concerns, remember you can reach out to me. We have Microsoft Teams and Zoom if you need a face-to-face meeting. Otherwise, you can email me or text me. And